Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. I should have seen what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today. Well, actually, I need to check. Do I even have an episode? Not of Animal Crossing, but of whatever going up for the rest of a week. Do I have everything? Okay, Animal Well, Animal Crabs. Okay, I'm good. Whew, saved. Yeah, because so a moment in my mind I was like, I don't actually know if I have videos coming up for the rest of the week, but luckily I do. A past me, I suppose, was much more prepared when it came to it. Anyway, good evening everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 10:54 PM on Thursday, March 20th, 2025. For some reason I read that and I was like, what? Am I okay? Can I read things? And the answer is sometimes no, apparently. What on earth? I have no idea what you were saying, because Isabel was talking about not Giovanni, Gulliver. What should we talk about? Oh yeah, we'll probably continue on holiday talk. Had a bit of a D&D talk yesterday, if anything, just because it was such a strange session. I need to think about, I suppose, certainly change some things up from the initial plans of what I thought might happen. I'm also using the drifty Joy-Cons, if you are wondering why I can't seem to run straight. But yeah, Horn, what's my move? That's what that made you think of? No, okay, well, we're going to do the thing where we go into resident services to make sure that we don't run about like crazy. What's more things going to talk about? I can talk about the fact about Neopets. There's a new Neopet coming out, what is it called? I don't remember. It's like a Varwolf? That sounds right. Hold on, let me open up Jelly Neo. It probably says it. Yeah, Varwolf. And you might be like, what on earth are you talking about? Okay, it's not that long a story. Neopets is like an online virtual pet game, and they sometimes, very rarely, add Neopets. And Neopets is kind of like it's trying to revive itself, I think, at the moment. It's like trying to sort of jumpstart itself. Once again, Jumpstart was like one of the companies who owns it. I don't know if they're the ones who currently own it. I don't remember. But anyway, it's utterly insane that Neopets has even existed as long as it has, because it's really sort of like, it really is a product of the early 2000s. Like, it's been like 25 years, I think. So while it's very iconic for it, it's not particularly I'm not going to say like its gameplay really holds up or anything, but the whole reason I play it is very much because of nostalgia more than anything. And plus, I do tend to like games where you play a little bit every single day rather than playing a huge amount all at once. Small, sort of like incremental games of service. Like I say about this all the time, about games as a service. The monetization system, I can't exactly approve of for a lot of them, actually, but the actual service itself does appeal to the way I like to play games, which is a little bit every single day. Yeah, so there's a new Neopet out called a Varwolf, which was apparently, it was one that was made as a joke for like April Fools, but like a few of them got made into reality because they ended up being popular or something. Am I going to get one? I want to see what the pet paints look like, because I've basically sort of almost reached my goal of getting all the Neopets I want. I'm literally 2 away from the Neopets I want. One being a robot Burry, which I'm very much in it for the long haul, because the only way I'm going to plausibly even get one is through the premium pet swap service, which I had to wait a year for because I already did it on the Lutari. Because back in the day, the Halloween paintbrush was really expensive, and so were Lutari morphing potions, but now they're actually quite accessible. And the other one is a mutant cow, but the cow transmogrification potion is so expensive. And the thing with the cow morphing potions, this is why it's going crazy, because there's basically a thing in Neopets called a Labrate, which will randomly do something to your pet from a whole list of things, and one of the list things it does is it might change the colour of your pet. So there's a thing you can do if you're feeling very lucky, because it will pull from like all possible pet colour combinations, or essentially that if you want a pet of a certain colour, you can just zap it every single day and hope you just get lucky. But it only really makes sense to do that with a pet where if it ends up changing species to a different species which you don't want, you have a way to change it back. And Burries have very cheap morphing potions, so that's easy to do. Cows, for some reason, have some of the most expensive morphing potions. So every part of trying to get a mutant cow is insanely expensive. But the thing is, a robot burrow you can only get from a library, so you just have to get lucky. So I'm at the last two that I've got, like one is really expensive, and the other I had to get insanely lucky for, or wait a year essentially since I've done the Halloween premium pet thing, which honestly it might actually be coming up again soon. I can't remember when I made this pet, but presumably when I made the pet, that was when I did the transformation. But anyway, not the point. That's my short 5-minute interlude, I suppose, talking about something random. Neopets for today, apparently. But yeah, what are we going to talk about? Yes, what we can talk about the next thing, which happened, I suppose. Oh, actually, I did it in September, so really we're quite a ways away. We're about half a year away. The next thing, which ended up happening on a holiday after doing a bobsledding, which I gave a little spoiler's not the right word, but like a preview for from when I spoke about it, is the fact that we did dog sled riding or husky sled riding. I'm not sure exactly how you describe it. It was interesting. The huskies were super cute. I do like animals, but I am not. I mean, you know me. I'm not someone who's particularly extremely reactive to these sort of things. So even if I see a very cute dog, I'm not gonna be like, oh. I'm gonna be like, ah, oh, what a cute dog. And the huskies were cute, and like, I mean, there's no. I'm not gonna sort of like beat around the bush and pretend to you that they weren't. They were honestly utterly adorable, and it was a very cool experience as well. It wasn't how I pictured it. For some reason, I pictured us like riding across like frozen tundra for some reason, with the huskies pulling us on a sleigh, but it wasn't quite to that level. It was more or less that we were riding through like a snowy sort of area, a snowy wooded area, a path that they already had, and the huskies pulled us along, and perhaps unsurprisingly, that's just kind of what happened. And I don't mean that in a bad way. If anything, that's kind of like to be expected, right? That's how it should work, probably. But what I found very interesting is about the huskies. You know, there were so many huskies that I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it was like 200. That might not be right, so don't quote me on that. But there was a surprising number of huskies at the place we went to, and I was sort of just like, whoa, this is like crazy. Like, look at all these very eager huskies. And the thing I found interesting about it, that they said about it, is that the huskies basically are always raring to go. Like, they are just basically 24/7 thinking that they are pulling a sled. So but really, there's no like going with huskies. Huskies are always go. The only thing you really do is you stop by braking. Really, and apparently you've got to put your back into it, as I understand it, to properly brake. Not that I did, because I'm going to be honest, I didn't actually do any of the husky riding, husky driving. So that's, not for me to comment on. You might be like, why didn't you? I'm not really sure. At the moment, I didn't really feel like it, to be honest. So I just was like, okay, I'm not going to do it. Like, in my mind, I was like, this is not what I want to do at the moment. So I didn't. And the person that I was with was totally down with just doing more husky sled driving. So I was like, all right, that's fine by me. I mean, this seems like something which works out. The situation works out, so I'm not sure. I'm not going to complain about that or anything. But yeah, it was interesting. I mean, you kind of get pulled by huskies, and I will say it's not like the most fascinating thing in the world. I would say it's not like us doing it, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. My God, husky sled pulling. What is going on? Mind blowing. It's basically exactly as you might imagine, except our huskies really just, I mean, they just sort of go. They're like, the ones that were pulling our sled had so much energy, just they were like immediately off. And my friend was just like, she was like, this is like incredibly difficult to get them to stop, because they just kept going. We had so much energy. But really it was just like a really fun, nice experience, just chilling, sitting on the sled. Again, going through the lovely Finnish winter wonderland landscapes, and being pulled by, a pack of dogs. Surprising amount of energy, because there was 6 of them pulling what seems to be both a pretty reasonably heavy wooden sled and 2 people on it as well. I was just kind of surprised in the sense where I was like, oh, you know, I'm surprised that I would have thought there would need to be more huskies, because when I imagine husky sled pulling, I imagine like a train of like 12 or something huskies all pulling like this one wooden sled. But I don't know, these huskies are like strong. And they probably like know that track extremely well. It reminds me when we did like horse riding and crochet whatever, and the person who looked after horses was like, yeah, they know this track like trail inside out. This must, while you might think, oh, this is like difficult work for them to be like carrying us or something, like you weigh like nothing compared to the horse. They barely even feel you, and they know this trail so in and out that this is just boring work to them, if anything. But that was a very interesting sort of like eye-opening moment where I was like, oh, you know, I guess that makes sense. That's, you know, I'm gonna take into account the morphology is not the right word, but I suppose the physicality of these animals, you know. Of course, a horse is not going to be like, oh man, you know, someone who is like I don't know how heavy a horse is. How heavy is a horse, like a workhorse? How much does a horse weigh? I had a horse around 60 kilograms. So it's like, oh no, there's something on my back which weighs 10% maybe of my body mass or something. Whatever am I going to do? There's no way I can walk this. It would kind of be like us walking around with like a backpack or something. Like a reasonably light backpack, all things considered. No, not reasonably light. Depends what's in it, I suppose. Which, yeah, I'm pretty sure most people could do that for like days if they wanted to. But sort of like a big sort of change up into the mind's eye. So really, despite the fact that there were less huskies than they thought, I mean, these animals are powerful, you know? Don't underestimate them. But also not what I pictured when I thought of huskies. I think I was thinking more of a Malamute when I was thinking of huskies. For some reason, I don't know. No, when I Google husky, this is what I pictured when it came to huskies. I guess these are like, I don't know, long-haired huskies, and the ones we had were short-haired huskies or something, or I don't know, wild huskies. I don't know. Why is this the only picture of huskies? Are there different types of huskies? I guess there must be. What about the Finnish huskies? No, like none of the huskies look like this. Well, actually, no, this one did. Oh, husky safari. I guess that's what we did. I guess it just kind of struck me because I was like, these huskies. I picture huskies looking quite wolf-like in appearance, in physiology. In fact, this photo of them here look like wolves. But like the huskies which are pulling us, like they just look like dogs, to be honest. Like, I'm not an expert in dogs. I cannot tell you what dog breed I thought they were. Like this one almost looks like not a German Shepherd, but I don't know. It just wasn't what I pictured when I picture huskies. But damn, they got some energy behind them, is what I can say. I wish there was more to say, because there was not really much else to say about huskies. Like, we got to hang out with them afterwards and take pictures and pet them, which was a highlight for most people, I think. And they really are beautiful creatures. There was one dog in particular whose name I can't remember. Like, we asked the trainer or one of the handlers, and he told us all the names of ones which pulled our sled. And I do have a video of it, but I'm not going to play it out right now. One of them had most piercingly beautiful blue eyes, which I was like, you are my favourite one, because your blue eyes, they're incredible. That's all I remember. Cannot remember what they're called. I think one of them, not that one, was called, it was something like either pancake or honey or syrup related. That sort of like sweet name, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, not the point. I'm not sure what the point was. The point was husky dog sledding. Like, I mean, I guess traditionally it must be a thing because the huskies are pretty good at pulling dog sleds. That's maybe why traditionally it happened. I don't know. Wikipedia, is that a thing? Dog sled. Sled dog. Alaskan husky. Oh, I guess the husky I picture is Alaskan husky, which makes sense. That is not necessarily the one that you find in Finland. Anyway, dog sled. Sled pulled by one or more sled dogs. Used to travel over ice through snow, a practice known as mushing. I didn't know that was specifically for dog sledding. I thought mushing was any sort of animal sort of racing. Traditionally Greenland and the eastern Canadian Arctic. But Inuit had the dogs pull in a fan shape in front of a sled, while in other regions such as Alaska and the northern part of Canada, the dogs pull side by side in pairs. Oh! I never even considered the fact that it would be different formations for dog sledding. Crazy, huh? Anyway, I obviously did find the animals cute. I'm not a robot. Despite the fact I don't have a very visceral reaction, as a lot of other people do. Of course I found them cute. Very, very cute animals. If anything, I kind of find natural animals fascinatingly majestic, I suppose. Oh no, Siberian husky. I guess that's the one I picture. So I don't know what types of huskies we had in our putting our sled, to be honest. Labrador huskies? I was going to say, it almost feels like they look like Labradors. Let's see. Huskies in Finland. Type. Damascus dogs? What? Huskies and Huggies. Lapland is also well known of its Siberian huskies. Really? I do not think they were Siberian huskies, though. But I don't know. Maybe this one is. I think the thing that surprised me is they're a lot leaner than I expected. Because I feel like Siberian huskies, at least in the photos I picture in my hand, they look like big, they look bulky types of sort of dogs. But a husky is a general term for a dog used in polar regions. So I guess, yeah, there could be quite a spread. Labrador husky. What an adorable photo. Yeah, like some of them kind of look like Labrador huskies. I guess that must be what they were. Yeah, like this one looks exactly like one of them. I guess it didn't even cross my mind that there would be different types of huskies. For some reason I thought a husky was a much more specific breed. But I also did know that Siberian husky was a thing, so I guess I just never really thought about it. But no, huskies are generic breed name. You know, it's not even like I think it's a bit misleading to say you learn a little every day, because it's not like I learned it, it's more like I thought about it. I never really thought about it until this point. Anyway, on that note, dog sledding. Yeah, there's not really much to say. It is, I would say it's probably the most as it seems on the tin sort of thing. Like, if you can imagine what dog sledding might be like, that's exactly what dog sledding is like. Like, that's there's no other sort of like hidden things or ways about it. That just is what dog sledding is. It's dogs pulling a sled and you sit on it and it's a nice time. That's that's about it. I wish I had something more creative to say, but I generally don't. That's just kind of it. Anyway, I guess I'll round this episode off here. So, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewells. Until next time. Bye-bye for now.